Oh, come on.
Yeah.
What was that about? Let's hear it in the control room. That was awesome. I've heard that song like 10,000 times. I've seen it live about 25 times. That was the best it's ever been. What's going on with you, Tilbrook?
Yeah, I just like playing the guitar. And I'm getting better and better and better. So
Blimey.
it's great.
Chris, even you were looking on slightly dumbfounded there.
I was gobsmacked. It was like being in a Mexican restaurant or something.
All that was just two hands. Glenn, seriously, were you making that hard for yourself on purpose?
No, it was just great. I
Oh,
love playing.
man, that was unbelievable. Have you been warming up outside?
I have not. No, I walked in the building 10 minutes ago.
You were doing the bass, you were doing
After getting
the
lost.
lead. That was amazing, wasn't it,
It
Chris?
is incredible.
You've seen him do that before, but...
Well, not quite like that. That was beautiful on a nylon string as well.
That was
I have to point out.
amazing, man. Thank you for bringing your A game yet again to the studio. So 50 years. Jeez, come on. What's the first time you ever laid eyes on each other?
I was outside a pub in Blackheath. Yeah, put an ad in the sweet shop window, and then we arranged to meet. And that's the first time we saw each other.
Who placed the ad?
I did. Yeah,
Placed the ad on a postcard.
on a postcard in a sweet shop window above Fridge for Sale, I think.
Was it 5p a week or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
That's what they were, weren't they?
50
Postcards were
50p a
5p a
week.
week. I thought it was great value for money for an advert in the local... Because everybody used to go there to look at the ads.
Yeah.
So Glenn, you pitched up. What happened next?
I pitched up and, I'd met Jules, I think, about a year before. So I was playing with Jules already, but Chris was the first person I met who wrote songs. And he played me some of his songs and it was absolutely incredible. And we clicked really straight away and realised after a couple of months of playing that probably his lyrics are stronger than mine and probably my tunes were stronger than his on the whole.
Yeah.
So we started dividing our time.
Is that a fair
up that way.
appraisal?
It's absolutely spot
Bang on.
Spot on, yeah.
So it just worked. And in the first few years we were together, we couldn't get any gigs, so we spent just all our time writing, which was just such a great grounding. for
Writing
us.
and playing.
Yeah, amazing.
In
Just
our
lying on the
bedrooms.
floor listening to music.
It's not the best.
It's the best thing, wasn't
Oh my
it?
God! I
No
wanna do that
distractions.
now.
No distractions.
Lying on the floor, listening to music.
Yeah.
Ceilings have never been so beautiful, have they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, really.
How great are ceilings, by the way? You know, talk about, people say when you're outside you don't look up enough. We just don't look up enough anyway.
No.
I want to lie on the. I want to lie on the ceiling now. It's the best thing. It really is, though. There's that scene in Waynesville, isn't it, where they light the end of the runway and the plane's just flying over them all. That's the best thing. Got to look at. It gives me butterflies. And so, do you play with Jules already? I didn't know that. Jules Holland, by the way, who we're talking about.
Yeah. I'd met. He was trying to sell a mate of mine a guitar, so as the
he doesn't
local
need
guitar expert
He doesn't
for
do guitars.
a fiver, and it wasn't worth £1. I mean, it was just a terrible guitar, and I advised my mate not to buy it. But Jules was the first other person I met who could play, so we started playing together.
So he's playing piano then?
He was playing. Yeah.
Already?
So he and I started playing, and we played a lot actually, but our writing never really went anywhere. It was always about playing.
So how come Chris was such a better... What is it about lyrics that jump out at you, over and above your own?
The fact that they're there and there's lots of them.
Right.
I mean, really, and that they were great. I would never have thought.
What was
the
great about
imagination
them?
that Chris had, the influences that he had when I met him were just way out of my remit. I was more into more straightforward pop music.
And were they concise? Were they more profound? Did they have more of a message to them? Because Bernie Taupin was on the show a couple of weeks ago.
How was that?
Oh, amazing! His book. Have you read his book?
No.
Oh, his book is like it's gorgeous. His book, but Elton John, readily admits he can't write lyrics for toffee.
No.
Nor can Andrew Lloyd Webber. You could though. That's the difference. Just not as good as Chris is.
No, nowhere near. I mean, I think also at that point, I was 15 when I met Chris, and he was 18. That's quite
Different.
a gap when you're at
It is,
that age.
actually.
I've closed in on him since then.
Yeah. And what were you writing about? What was on your mind?
Oh, God, it was all over the place. It was sort of failed romance.
Yeah.
Juvenile stuff, really.
Yeah, but you're at the centre of all that, aren't you? You've got so much on your radar at that age.
Well, yeah, and I'd been to see David Bowie play an acoustic show at a local theatre, and, when I got introduced to his songwriting, I just thought, well, you can go anywhere. Can be all over the place.
You got introduced to David Bowie. Did you just say that out loud?
He played at Eltham College, and in those days everybody sat on the floor to watch gigs.
Wow.
You know, and people used to lay on the floor to listen to music, and they would sit cross-legged on the floor to listen to music.
Yeah.
In those days.
And it's funny, isn't it? Because like they say, how can musicians keep writing amazing songs about the same old thing? Well, it's because when you're 18, you think you're the first person ever to discover everything.
Exactly.
And it's the same thing over thousands of years, and hopefully it'll be the same over thousands of years to come.
Yeah.
But because it comes from you so authentically, nobody else seems to mind who's experienced it before. They go, oh, it's your turn.
Yeah.
And that's the deal, isn't it?
Exactly. You passing it on, yeah.
And I suppose that's why it gets frustrating as you get older, because it's not your turn anymore.
Yeah, I know.
So you have to write about different things.
Whose turn is it?
I don't know. It's whatever the universe, whose ever turn they want it to be, I suppose.
I don't know.
I can't believe, if you don't mind me saying, I can't believe, Chrissy, you're 69. I had to look again.
Did you?
Yeah, honestly, you're, and it's the same with McCartney, and with Glenn, and with everybody. You're all. It's not fair, because you are defying. This has never happened before.
Yeah, different generation.
Different generation.
I think it's pickled. You just get pickled.
No, not if you keep your pick in your hand. The pick keeps the pickle jar away, I think. So you're embarking on this tour. We're selling it almost a year ahead of schedule. gigsandtours.co.uk, 27 dates. And here we are looking at, the history of Squeeze. These are some of the bands that supported Squeeze in the past. Dire Straits, The Jam, R.E.M., The Specials, U2 and XTC. Wow.
John Bon Jovi.
Wow. You've been to see U2 at the Sphere. Tell us about that.
The most amazing show. It's definitely is like seeing the future. The future has arrived, and that is it. And that's going to roll out all over the place, and eventually that will be a normal thing. And I've never seen anything before that, like you're in front of me in this room. It's that realistic, the stuff. So you two are there playing, but just everything around it changes. Totally submersive. Not a distraction, just a new thing, like sound on movies. It's that big.
And the sound is incredible as well. The sound everywhere. You don't miss a trick. But I'm not sure how many bands could do that. I mean, they are a very special band, and the graphics that go with their songs is brilliant. They've spent months and months doing it. So it would have to be a really special band to follow that.
And you went together?
Yeah, we went as a band. We were on tour. We were in Phoenix, and we got in our tour bus and took the bus to Vegas to see it. And they were really nice to us. They gave us nice seats, and they fed us and everything. It was lovely.
Oh, it was brilliant.
That's gorgeous.
Really great night.
Out of the names I've just mentioned there, and Bon Jovi, Dire Straits, The Jam, R.E.M., The Specials, U2, XTC. Who were the biggest nightmare there? I suppose when the support bands are all really well behaved, are they?
They are. Yeah.
Who could you tell? I mean, they've all done pretty well. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Who could you tell? Were you around for the support band back then? Were you witnessing? Did you choose them? How involved were you?
One that wasn't on the list, that Simple Minds opened for us as well. I think it was like their third gig. I do remember watching them from the side of the stage and thinking they had something really.
And what kind of venues are we talking where these bands are supporting Squeeze?
Let's put it this way: when Simple Minds opened for us, I don't think there was a stage. We were playing in a hall. It was just set up on the floor, in front of people.
Right.
There was no
small
venues.
Yeah,
exciting times though, eh?
Yeah, it was small, but they were great. They were really fully formed at that point. You can always tell that. With some bands.
So it's the gift, if you want to support Squeeze, you're going to go on to do great things. So come on, everybody.
Badly Drawn Boy is
Drawn Boy.
Going to be going on to
says
some
here,
more great things.
not that I need to do, but it does, and I thank people for preparing these notes. It says here, Squeeze, Glenn Tilbrook, Chris Difford, 66, 69, blah, blah, blah. And now that is Squeeze. But who's been in Squeeze over the years?
Well, there's a long list. It's a family tree. It's huge.
Like who? I mean, we know Jules Holland's been.
Jules and Gilson Lavis were originally with Harry Kikuli on bass, but there's been lots of changes since then. And the band that we've got now is the most vibrant of them all, I think.
It's the best band. I think it's the best band we've ever had.
Okay, and you'll start rehearsing soon, or what's going on there?
Well, we just come back from 6 weeks in America, so we won't be rehearsing.
So you're done
next week.
You're baked.
The cake for that tour is baked, but we've got lots to do next year. We've got a couple of albums we're going to record, and then we'll start rehearsing for the next tour.
Yesterday we had a lot of chat about warehouses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Really want a warehouse. Really want a warehouse.
That's a good idea.
Have you had any warehouse action as a band that we can talk about?
I can pass you some phone numbers.
No, seriously, have you had a dedicated space? Have you got your own? Because Jules has got a studio, hasn't he? Your
Yeah.
railway place.
Well,
Well, it's not.
I've got a studio. We do everything in there. We rehearse and record in there.
Where is that?
It's in Charlton, South
Is it a
London.
warehouse?
No, it's a separate building.
Please tell me it's a warehouse.
No, actually, it used to be, rather ironically, given the state of my hearing, it used to be a hearing aid factory.
Did it actually?
It did, yeah. A single hearing aid factory. So I just couldn't believe it. I thought it was ideal for me when I found it.
I just looked around in the middle of that, and that view over South London's incredible. It really is, isn't it?
Did it bring a tear to your eye while
It
you're
did,
playing your
it
songs?
did, but I thought that song was written down there.
Oh my goodness me. Dean the Trucker, morning Chris, and the beautifully gifted Squeeze. Wowzers, how many fingers do you need to play guitars like they're playing this morning? Amazing. Abigail in Worthing, morning Chris, Vass, Rachel and Squeeze. I'm so excited and happy to hear Squeeze this morning. I'll be buying tickets on Friday to the Brighton show. Gigsandtours.com for this 50th anniversary tour. Tickets go on sale on Friday. Lizzie in Leeds says, hearing Squeeze on the show is an early Christmas present. They're my favourite band of all time.
Oh, cheers, Lizzie.
I saw them in Leeds in the 80s and in Wolverhampton in the 90s. Thank you. Well, Lizzie, make it, at least a hat-trick in the 24s. Jill says, saw Squeeze at De La Warr Pavilion in Bexhill recently. It was absolutely brilliant. It was a real trip down memory lane. Cool for Cats was the first vinyl I ever bought. Bing says, I had the 7-inch single Cool for Cats on pink vinyl. We played it at the Sunderland Polytechnic Communication Society Disco in 1983. I cannot tell you how well it went down. Squeeze are awesome. So
you.
much love for you, isn't
That
there?
is beautiful,
Do
isn't
you
it?
feel it?
I'm feeling it now, definitely.
Have you felt it over the years?
Oh, yeah. I mean, our audiences are very passionate about our music, and that's just so much joy. It brings joy.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you do great business in America as well.
Absolutely. The 6-week tour, we just come back from, virtually sold out the whole place, and it was great. We were with the band called the Psychedelic Furs, so it was a really great tour.
Pretty in pink vinyl.
They were amazing.
And is it because I think that when I first ever heard you play, I can't believe you're here. I can't believe I'm here talking to you. Like, when I was a paper boy. I was listening to your music, thinking, "How great is this band?" But you did have your sound is different. It has an ease to it, which lends itself to the American ear. I think, don't you agree?
I think what we are to Americans is because our subject matter is London, England based, it's sort of exotic for some people. Definitely a niche market, I know that.
But it's a different sound. It's not typically English in the way that everybody now thinks the Kinks are typically English.
Yeah.
But they achieve renown by not being to us, to the English here, and I think not dissimilar.
Yeah, not too dissimilar.
Yeah.
Bands that we grew up with, of course.
On the biog here, it's another one of those annoying pieces of information, Vassos, right, which winds the rest of us up. Because I know you have another song prepared, like you need to prepare your songs. But anyway, Tempted, the second single from the band's fourth album, East Side Story, which was released in 1981. Chris Difford wrote the song lyrics to this song while the band were in a taxi to Heathrow Airport.
On the back well, they began life on the back of a packet of 20 senior service. That was quite a big packet.
And I was going to say, do you buy senior service because it's a better tableau?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
They were massive, weren't they? Senior service.
Massive, yeah.
They were the biggest pack of fags.
You could tear them open. You could write a whole song on them.
Yeah, they were mostly for notes.
Right.
Yeah, they second only to senior service would have been Capstan Full Strength.
Oh, there you go.
And they really were full strength, those bad boys. So the smoker's cough, just
Yeah,
at the thought of it. And when that, such sort of complete and sort of harmonious lyrics, as we're going to hear in a minute from Tempted, come to you, is it fully formed? Is it one of these stories that we hear from somewhere else? You're just the vessel?
I think a lot of the best subject matters and lyrics come from somewhere else.
Right.
You don't really think about them. They kind of come from the subconscious. It's tapping into that. It's really difficult. Sometimes it can take weeks to tap into that, just by sitting around, and sometimes just sitting looking out the window. It doesn't look like you're doing much, but you are absorbing something, and then it comes.
Yeah. So there's that great. I can't remember who said. And they said, how long did it take to write the song? Is it true it took like 15 minutes? He said, well, 15 minutes and 35 years.
Yeah.
Same thing, isn't it?
That's lovely.
Beautiful. All right, well, listen, good luck, you two.
Thank you very
and thanks
much.
for coming in. I love it when you come in. I think you're
thank you
amazing.
so
You
much.
know, I think you're amazing. And so does everybody else, by the way.
Thank you.
Text in if you don't like Squeeze and tell us why.
Yeah.
Because I've never met anybody who doesn't like Squeeze. Have you?
That's a good question. No.
Great. 87222. Start those texts with Virgin if you dare. Gigsandtours.com for tickets. Tickets go on sale at 10 o'clock this Friday for Squeeze next year. 27 dates. There may be more dates. Who knows?